Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of United Talks podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about the game between Manchester United and Chelsea at the Stamford Bridge, and it promises to be an interesting game. Truth is, it is not a game that I kind of look forward to, considering the fact that we have not been in good form the last two games, drawing to Bournemouth and losing to Leeds. So, I mean, what can I say? But, I have a glimmer of hope, if I may say, considering that Chelsea haven't scored in 3 consecutive Premier League games. So this provides us an opportunity. But then we have to still analyze the game, right? So it's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be an interesting game for two teams that are on different trajectories. One is declining slowly. The other is ascending, basically, in the eyes of some fans, if we can call it that. So, this is our deep dive on what is the most tactically intriguing matchup of this 2026 season, barring the game between Arsenal and Man City that will take place on Sunday. But we're heading into Stamford Bridge for a clash of philosophies that could actually decide Champions League spots. For Man United, it could solidify our spot in third, considering how Villa are level on points with Man United. While for Chelsea, it could give them an opportunity to push for fourth or fifth, as the case may be, because I think they are behind Liverpool. But for Man United, with this, it will potentially take Man United to 10 points ahead of Chelsea. But let's analyze. So, like and share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't have to miss anything. As it relates to all things Manchester United, this is United Talks Podcast, and I'm your host, DJ El Pablo. We're going to be breaking things down, right? But Stamford Bridge on a Saturday afternoon or evening, as the case may be, a tactical battle that feels like it's been ripped straight from a coaching manual. On one side, you have Rosenier's Zerbi-coded Chelsea, a team that lives on the edge, baiting you to press them just so that they can tear you apart with electric tempo shifts. That is what Rosenior is all about. But on the other hand, you have a Michael Carrick or a Carrick evolution of Manchester United that has become a machine of metronomic control and defensive unity, as is expected based on how Michael Carrick plays. Now, it is risk versus reward, and it is beautiful also versus practical, right? Now, the question is, can Carrick's safe first or safe and secure doctrine dismantle Rosenier's passive red zone? Now, let's break it down. First and foremost, we'll talk about the head-to-head. Chelsea versus Manchester United is a fixture steeped in Premier League lore, but in 2026, it has taken a new tactical dimension. Historically, United have struggled to find consistency at the bridge, but the tide is turning. United under Carrick are looking to build a dominant recent record against Big Six teams. Meanwhile, Rosenior is looking to prove that his fluid, expansive style and can hold up against like the league's most disciplined mid blocks. With both teams fighting for that top 4 finish, and the stakes couldn't be any higher, albeit for Manchester United sitting in third could be the most realistic position that the club could be in, right? And if you look at it critically, you will understand that Man United winning this weekend is going to exemplify what should be the position of the club, considering the turmoil that the club has been through all season. So, we look at our dashboard here where we talk about like all of the form guide and all of that, right? Now, first and foremost, on the table, United sit third, 55 points, level on points, but better goal difference ahead of Aston Villa, plus 12 to plus 5. And they sit pretty much 8 points. Yeah, 8 points ahead of, or 7 points rather, ahead of Chelsea. And with a win against Chelsea, it will take United to 10 points ahead of 6th place Chelsea. Liverpool are in 5th with 52 points. And if Liverpool win their next game, then they will be level on points with third and fourth. So it's not looking good. United have to win. We don't have a choice. Now, with regards to all the other things that are going on around the league and all of that, because obviously Liverpool and Manchester United are pretty much not far off when it comes to goal difference. Chelsea and Man United are close to each other when it comes to goal difference as well. But then you also have, if Liverpool win their next game and United don't win their next game, then there would be a situation where Liverpool could be level on points with United, dragging for the fourth position, and then it will now be down to the day Man United face Liverpool at Old Trafford. And that match will be the match for life, fighting for life. But if we have a good cushion, basically 3 points ahead of Liverpool now, and with an extra 3 points, it'll be 6. Then when we face Liverpool, it will be Liverpool being under pressure to try to win to get to fourth. But the truth is, there are 5 places up for grabs for Champions League. So let's not get carried away. We need to win. We definitely need to win. But with regards to recent form and everything in between, United have won 2 in the last 5, drawing 1 and losing 2. So it's not been really good. It's not been looking good at all. 1 win, 1 loss, 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss. So it's not looking good at all. So we have to actually capitalize and try to build some momentum. You look at other things, including head-to-head for Man United versus Chelsea. United have 78 wins, Chelsea have 56 wins, and basically there's been 62 draws between both teams. With regards to like top performers in the team, you have Bruno Fernandes with 8 goals and 17 assists. You have João Pedro on the Chelsea side with 14 goals and 5 assists. For the forward line, you have the next person, Brian Bumo, with 9 goals and 3 assists, and then you have Enzo Fernandez, who is basically, I think, suspended for this game by the club. I don't know if he's going to be back. You have Enzo Fernandez, who is on 8 goals and 3 assists, and then Cole Palmer, who is next, who is a player that I'm looking out for in this team, even though I don't rate him as a United player although it's because of the interest, right? Cole Palmer is on 9 goals and 1 assist. Obviously, you know that a handful of those goals are penalties. Then you have Benjamin Sesko, who's on 9 goals and 1 assist as well. 9 goals and 1 assist. Then Pedro Neto, who's next in line for highest scorer in that Chelsea squad, has 5 goals and 4 assists. While our wonderful Casemiro, counting down to his last couple of games for Man United, has 8 goals and 2 assists, and in all competitions I think he has 9 goals, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, that is in the Premier League, right? So with regards to team rank, United is ranked 3rd when it comes to goals for in the league. Chelsea are ranked 4th with 53 goals, United 57. With regards to shots, Chelsea are ranked 5th with 418 shots. United are ranked 1st with 478 shots. And then with assists, Chelsea are ranked 5th, United are ranked 3rd with 34 and 39 assists consecutive, respectively. Then with saves, Chelsea have 74. They face more shots, and they concede more goals, and then their defense is porous. United have faced fewer shots, but we've also conceded goals. We're ranked 19th in saves with 63 saves, compared to Chelsea's 74. So it's not that far off and all of that. Well, it is what it is. Chelsea, obviously, I have to look at the red cards, because Chelsea have, they're first in red cards. They have 7 red cards, the most red cards this season. United have 3, and I think those 3 red cards came as a result of Casemiro getting 1 in that Chelsea game, and Licha Martínez getting 1. And then the last red card was Harry Maguire, so that's 3 red cards. For yellow cards, Chelsea are 3rd in the league with 78 yellow cards. United are 16th with 50 yellow cards. So we seem to be doing really good on the yellow card front and all of that. With regards to the general stats, for both teams, United have 15 wins in the Premier League. Chelsea have 13. There's been 10 draws for United. Chelsea have 9. United have 7 losses, 2 from the last 10, and then Chelsea have 10 losses, right? So, and then with regards to goal progression and stuff, you look at where Chelsea scored the most of their goals is in the beginning of second half and towards the end of first half. For United, we score for the most part towards the end of first half and to the end of games. So 13 towards the end of first half, 10 towards the beginning of second half, and 14 towards the end of games. So yeah, so we are very poor when it comes to first half, but then in the second half we seem to be doing a lot better as the game progresses. But it is what it is. Maybe when we counter on the players that on the teams that are tired out after the game has progressed and all of that. Now, like I said, Chelsea versus Man United is a fixture that is steeped in Premier League law. Basically, it's like loads of games gone on between both teams. With regards to form guide, as I mentioned earlier, Manchester United is resurgent and clinical, obviously, over the last 15 games. United have also won 7 of the last 10 matches, a run that has catapulted them into the Champions League conversation. The Carrick effect has actually kind of, steadied the ship and stabilized the defense, even though now we have a defensive crisis. And that is something that people are kind of ignoring, right? It has unleashed a vertical speed that very few can handle, albeit losing games to Newcastle and Leeds has not been helpful, and drawing in that manner to Bournemouth has also not been helpful. With regards to Chelsea have been struggling, especially in the last 3 Premier League games. They've not won one game. They are a tactical roller coaster under Liam Rosenior. The Blues have shown flashes of technical brilliance but remain plagued in inconsistencies. Like I said earlier, in the last 5 games, Chelsea have won only one, and that is the one they beat Aston Villa 4-1, where they thought they were back. They lost to Arsenal, they lost to Newcastle, they lost to Everton, like 3-0 to Everton, and lost 3-0 to Man City, and they haven't scored a goal in the last 3 games in the Premier League, as I said earlier. While they can play anyone off the park on their day, considering how the team has performed and everything in between, they lead the league in errors leading to shots due to high risk build-up. So that is where Man United can take advantage of what Chelsea has to offer. With regards to the tactical analysis, we're in the tactical analysis section or segment of this episode, we're going to talk about how Chelsea play. Under Liam Rosenior, Chelsea has turned into a press-beating powerhouse. They prioritize deep possession, often using goalkeeper Robert Sánchez as a makeshift centre-back to create a 4-2-5 or a 5-2-4 overload, right? And it has actually failed a couple times. They want to draw you in, then play slowly in their own third, and then bam, they hit you with electric tempo shift, using third man runs to pierce the lines, and in possession they shift into a 3-2-5 with inverted fullbacks, creating a box midfield to dominate the center. And that is where I have my gripe, because in the last game it was a box midfield that outdid us. So we cannot allow Chelsea's box midfield to take precedence in this game. So we have to be wary of that. Now, with regards to predicted starting lineup for Chelsea, we're going to go with the starting lineup I played in the last game, and it's going to start with Robert Sánchez in net, Jorel Hato and Fofana in the centre back, and then you have Malo Gusto on the right and Cucurella on the left. Ahmad has his work cut out if Ahmad is starting, and then you have Caicedo versus Caicedo and Santos in that 4-2-3-1 when they line up on paper. Caicedo and Santos, Andre Santos, and then you have Kopama in the 10, then Pedro Neto on the left, Estevao. Hopefully he starts for them on the right. He's such a key player, but Luke Shaw also has his work cut out as well. And then João Pedro as the striker, who always finds a way to score against Man United, whether he's playing for Watford or he's playing for Chelsea or he's even playing for Brighton. He finds a way to score against Man United, so we have to be very wary of that. Now, for the key player for Chelsea's starting lineup, it would most definitely be Cole Palmer. He's the pocket king, basically, operating in attacking pods, and he's also he's given total license to drift and create overloads. If you let him run and let him turn between the lines, his vision and weight of pass will activate Chelsea's high-speed blue zone transitions in a heartbeat. So he's one to watch. I'm working on something with regards to understanding the midfield battles that will go on between Caicedo and Bruno, as well as Caicedo and Casemiro. So we shall see. Key player for Chelsea in the game between Chelsea and Man United is Cole Palmer. Now we go over to how Michael Carrick plays, how Man United play under Michael Carrick. So this is kind of like the tactical analysis of Michael Carrick's play. Now, Carrick's United is defined by metronomic control, where the average of where Man United averages over 12 sequences of 10 plus passes per game. But my question is, where are those passes taking place? Now, we always focused on sustained possession to move the opposition out of shape, but also try to hit it long when necessary, especially against the Chelsea side that will not be able to deal with long balls. On the ball, United shift from a 4-2-4 into a 3-2-5, using diagonal progression to move vertically and horizontally at the same time. Now, it's a work smarter, not harder approach that emphasizes on third man runs to break down discipline lines. And we've found it really hard to play against like really tough opponents that play deep block or low block. But then if United can actually capitalize on Chelsea trying to bait us and then we can beat them, then there's a high chance we can beat them over with long balls when they can't defend with it. And if you put pressure on them, that is why I'm going with a starting lineup that is very interesting. Or how I always go with my starting lineup. So if we can beat them with that, then we have a huge opportunity. Now, to quickly go into Man United's predicted starting lineup for the game. We will start with Seno Lammens in net. Obviously, he's the only one that we can rely on the back. You start with Seno Lammens in net, and then you go with, obviously, we have no choice in this one, Eden Heaven and Lenny Euro. Unless, I don't know what Michael Carrick is seeing, Eden Heaven and Lenny Euro are definitely going to start. They should have started last game. That would have saved us from having that red card situation with Martínez. But now it's Eden Heaven and Lenny Euro, and we're forced to do it. We don't have a choice. Then you have Luke Shaw on the left, and in left back spot, he probably will be the stay fullback. And then Dalot will be the fly fullback on the right. Then you have Casemiro in the mid, paired with Manuel Ugarte. Ugarte had a good game the last time. Depending on what the case would be for Menu, but I think this is Ugate's game. This is the game where he thrives. Many people might say whatever they want to say, but I think Ugarte there's a good player in there. We just need to harness his talent and basically play to his strengths. With regards to Bruno Fernandes, he's going to be our number 10. And he can also drift into the midfield to actually create midfield overload when Chelsea are trying to overload us with Andre Santos, Caicedo, and even Caicedo on his own is an extra player. And then Cole Palmer, as well as the inverted fullbacks in Malo Gusto or Cucurella. On the left is Cunha, who can give Malo Gusto a run for his money. And then on the right is Ahmad, who is very skillful and can cause problems for Cucurella. And then up top, I would rather go with Bryan Mbeumo, and there's a reason for that. The fake offside trap that we can set for Chelsea, dealing with Chelsea's poor pace at the back, especially with Fofana or even with like Jorge Hato, it will be a very good opportunity for Man United to take full advantage. Right. So Bryan Mbeumo should start this one. He will give you an outlet. And then if he is moved to the left, Ahmad will drift to the middle. If he's moved to the right, Cunha could drift to the middle. Those moving pieces, we need to go back to those ones. And United players need to run as mad dogs. Now, key player for Man United in this one, with regards to this game against Chelsea, is Bruno Fernandes. Played all positions last game. Played like a person possessed last game, albeit even when he was running his socks down, he was playing. He's played 31 games so far this season with 2,663 minutes. He scored 8 goals with 18 assists in all competitions, 17 in the Premier League. The last time he scored was against Bournemouth, and he created a couple assists since then, and he created an assist as well in the game against Leeds. So Bruno could actually be key for Man United to succeed in this one. Basically, he's the captain and the most creative force in the country, leading the league with 25 big chances created. And then within Carrick's structure, Bruno is has the tactical freedom to combine his small spaces, and he has the ability to find diagonal killer balls. While Chelsea's fullbacks are inverted, will be. I mean, if he's able to create those diagonal balls while Chelsea's fullbacks are inverted, it will be very decisive. It will be a decisive factor in this. Now, another key player we can always look out for in this one that I think has come up leaps and bounds since he announced that he's leaving the club is Casemiro. Casemiro has played a similar number of games, 31 games, albeit fewer minutes, 2,254 minutes, with 8 goals and 2 assists. Basically, for the 34-year-old, this is like one of 6 games left for him. He scored in the last one. He's got a yellow card in the last game against Bournemouth, but at least was able to not get a yellow card in the game against Leeds. But then we need him to turn up on the day, because obviously we don't know what the fitness status of Kobe Menu is. And if we have control, if we ever need someone who can actually keep a cool head. I mean, he scored against Chelsea. He's got good goals against Chelsea as well. If we ever need someone who can keep a cool head in the Chelsea against Chelsea, considering how we played the last time, then it will be Casemiro. Now, before we go to how Man United can beat Chelsea, we look at like the last time United played Chelsea. The last time United played Chelsea, we beat them 2-1 with a red card. And the one before that, in May 2025, Chelsea beat Man United 1-0 under Amorim. And then in November 2024, Man United and Chelsea played a draw. And then in April 2024, Chelsea beat United 4-3. The last time before the last 3 games that Man United beat Chelsea back-to-back in Premier League games was December 2023 and May 2023, right? Now, in the last, say, 5 games, Man United have beaten Chelsea twice, lost to Chelsea twice, and drawn once. So it all boils down to how we can be able to capitalize and try to beat this team, because we need this victory now more than ever. Now to the strategy on how Man United can defeat Chelsea. Key strategies to win for Man United. Now, I always bring 4. So we're going to go with 4 key strategies for Man United to defeat Chelsea. First one is we need to leave West London with 3 points, and United basically must follow 4 tactical blueprints. Follow this tactical blueprint of 4 strategies to be able to defeat Chelsea. First of all, refuse the bait. So instead of 1v1 or high press, you do a passive press. Do not jump on Robert Sánchez. Chelsea wants us to press high so they can actually exploit the space behind us. Instead, we should dictate how they will press. We should bait them and go long, right? Now, Carrick must also use his 4-4-2 mid-block to stay disciplined, frustrate their rhythm, and keep their XG per shot at the elite 0.08 level, right? That is what we should do. We should not allow them to bait us so that they can exploit the spaces behind. Then, because we have some centre-backs in Euro and Heaven that are pretty young, or quite young, and we need them to be at the races. I know Heaven is mature, but we need them to be at the races. Number 2 is to target high turnovers. That is number 2 for Man United. While we stay compact, we must actually pick our moments. Chelsea are out of their depth when pressured effectively in their own half. Now, we need a trigger trap. We need a trigger trap. We need to set a trap for them to trigger on their own deepest midfielder and exploit the fact that their engine room struggles to recover in transition, especially with Andre Santos. That combination between Andre Santos and Caicedo. Caicedo has not been in good form this last couple of games. The next one we can also look out is to exploit set pieces. We need to exploit the set piece meta. Right. This is actually a statistical gold mine. Every single goal Chelsea has conceded under Rosenior has come from a set play. And we score set pieces. So that combination, the most ruthless combination in the Premier League this season, Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro, we need to capitalize on that. United must prioritize winning corners and deep free kicks, using the height of Benjamin Sesko when he comes on, or Casemiro's area prowess in the box, you know, to punish Chelsea's persistent weakness. I mean, Jorohato and Fofana are no match for Casemiro when it comes to, you know, area prowess and stuff. Now, the fourth strategy to deal with Chelsea, to be able to score against Chelsea, is to overload the inverted flanks, right? To overload the inverted flanks. Now, when Cucurella or Malo Gusto inverts into midfield, they leave huge gaps out wide, and that is where Cunha and Ahmad comes in. Where Cunha and Ahmad come in when it comes to like dealing with that wide flanks or space that are left in the wide flanks. We need to use diagonal passes to quickly shift play to the wings, forcing Chelsea's centre backs into 1v1 situations against our wingers before the fullbacks can actually recover. So we need to press them high, also go over the space that they leave behind. Now, when it comes to how I feel this game is going to go, this is the game where the first team to lose their tactical discipline will lose the points. That's the fact. No matter how we want to see it, that's an actual fact, right? If United can stay patient, refuse to be lured into Chelsea's press baiting traps, and capitalize on their set-piece dominance, United should have too much of this high risk. I mean, should be able to deal with too much of this high risk blue side, basically, because they do it with a lot of high risk, high reward. And I am predicting a 2-1 win for Man United. A masterclass game management that I expect from Michael Carrick if he can manage his substitutes and his games really well. Now, my final take from all of this. What do you guys think about this? What do Man United fans think? Is the 4-4-2 mid-block enough to stop Cole Palmer, or do we need a dedicated man marker? Because the truth is, he seems to be the guy who makes things happen for Chelsea. So long as the defending is left for Andre Santos and Caicedo. Apart from that, Kopama is the key man for them. And can Benjamin Šeško come on from the bench to create a chance where he's going to continue his scoring streak? Let us know in the comment section. But the truth is, what I'm going to say is maybe Cunha gets a goal here, and then Šeško comes in and gets another goal, and it becomes a routine 2-1 win. I mean, Kopama could score. Maybe we concede a set piece and there's chaos in the box. Maybe a set piece, a free kick outside the box, there's chaos in the box, and then they manage to get a goal. Maybe João Pedro, who always scores against Man United. And then you have Man United, you know, just being resurgent and winning 2-1, just like the last game. Anyway, let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. What do you think will happen in the game? I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please do like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Drop your stuff in the comment sections. Let's know what you think about the game. And I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Take care. Goodbye. And God bless.